I think what happened just got blown out of proportion.
Welcome to another episode of SAYS Cakap Banyak, episode number 4. I'm still figuring out how to sit in this podcast because we have a new studio. Well, it's not our studio, it is a tattoo store / studio. And being the last podcast we're filming in the year, let's start off the new decade with a new topic.
Yeah, and what is the topic, you ask? Well, it's kind of obvious. We're talking about tattoos today. And with us, we have Julian Oh.
Julian.
Hello.
Oh my god. Nice to see you, Julian.
Been there, done that, got a t-shirt.
Nice.
Yeah.
Okay, quick question. Tattoo guy, why don't you just introduce to everyone,
Your
who
background.
are you? What have you done?
I'm Julian Oh. I'm a tattooer. I've been tattooing for about 10 years. And I am currently the co-owner of Wayang Kulit Tattoo.
Yes.
Which is where we are right now.
Wayang Kulit Tattoo. Tell us about Wayang Kulit Tattoo, the shop. When did it open? And
We opened about 3 years ago
Yeah.
with my partner Joe. We used to travel to Europe quite a bit. And that's how we met in Europe, and as a Malaysian traveling together, so we shared a lot of ideas and stuff, and we did conventions in Europe together. And one day we decided hey, I think we should start a shop in KL. And we just waited for the right time, and we opened the shop 3 years ago.
Nice.
So Gwen, do you have tattoos?
I do not have any tattoos, but I've always wanted one. I've just never fully committed to one. I never did my research, and then in a few years I'll be oh yeah, I really didn't want to get that tattoo that I thought I wanted. So I will get one someday, maybe today.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I can't get a tattoo. My friends will disown me.
Yeah, I'm sure.
Really?
The ruling, the fatwa, the ruling in Islam is that tattooing is haram because there are many reasons why. One of which that I know about is that you're kind of changing a physical appearance of yours, which is a thing that you can't do in Islam. However, I have thought about if I would get a tattoo, what I would get. I watched Casey Neistat. His tattoos are all dates. So it would be 11th August.
Like kurma.
Yeah. He'll type Yusuf Tayyub.
Okay. Oh, Yusuf Tayyub.
Yeah.
Oh.
Hey. So so have a date and then wedding, a date and daughter's birth.
Okay.
And day I almost fell off a mountain.
Okay.
Or handwriting.
And that's what you would get?
Yeah, that's what I would get because here's the reason. I think if I get a piece of art on my hand, right, it will be somewhere along the lines of I'll it's either I'll love it or I'll keep looking at it until I find something wrong with it, then I start regretting it.
Maybe not. Maybe after 3 weeks you might even sort of forget that it's there.
Right, it just disappears.
Yeah.
It just becomes part of your skin.
Yeah.
Okay, so for all of you who are in the know, especially if you follow news and all that, so I think just a few weeks ago there was a Tattoo Expo here in KL 2019. So from the tattoo scene point of view, how important is this expo?
I think it was pretty cool that there was a show in KL of that size. And when I mean size, I mean having artists from all over the world, international tattooers in a huge hall in KLCC. Because I think in Malaysia we're not really there yet for shows, especially in Kuala Lumpur.
Yeah.
There's been
When
a lot
you say
of
not there yet, not enough shows or not enough exposure to tattoos in general?
I think both. I think it's definitely a growing mainstream scene as far as shows and conventions are concerned.
Yeah.
So I think to be able to finally do a show of that big size and magnitude, that's pretty cool. I mean, because for example, Singapore had their first international tattoo show only 10 years ago.
Yeah.
So we're sort of
Catching
10
up
years
to them.
behind in that sense.
Yeah.
However, we've had a few other smaller shows in KL. There's been some small tattoo events, but a show of this size, pretty cool. I think.
There's this one controversial issue it came about.
Yep.
It's mostly around the semi-nudity
Yeah,
exhibition.
Yep.
Okay, I don't know if you. What do you think about that? Is it a good thing? Is it a bad thing? I don't know.
To be honest, I think what happened just got blown out of proportion. That's all.
Right.
If you really look at it, it just got blown out of proportion. Should it have happened? Maybe not. but does this usually is this something so strange in tattoo shows? Not really.
Yeah.
So it was just an issue that was like really blown out of proportion. However, yeah, maybe there could have been less. I don't know. It's
just cover up a little.
I
bit
mean,
more.
these are not things that were planned or done intentionally as well. So.
But they did get a permit for it.
They got a permit for the event.
But okay, so what happens within the event basically wasn't like.
I mean, it is at the end of the day. It was also behind closed doors. You know, it's a private event.
Okay.
It's a private event. So I that's kind of the tug and war I feel of it. Half of the people say that no, the event is permitted, but they did not give a green light for like any kind of semi-nudity showcase.
I don't think there's a permit for nudity.
I don't think
Anyway, you know what I mean? So I think my take is that regardless of whether that should have happened or whether it was okay or blah blah blah, I think it's just something that just got blown out of proportion like super fast. Like,
yeah. But in the context of a tattoo expo, right? Tattoo exhibition. You do definitely have people that like tattooed all the way up.
For sure.
Okay, but if they can't showcase that in skin, how can they showcase that? Like, what could have been done instead? You know, would a picture on the wall be more offensive or less? Less
No,
offensive?
I mean it's totally different looking at a photo on a wall compared to like the actual art and craft on skin. You know, because you want to see how it really looks like in the flesh.
Yeah, like literally.
Yeah. So. I don't know. I mean, sure, there will be like a lot of. At the end of the day, like what is done is done.
Yeah.
But I guess moving forward, this issue is actually a non-issue. I feel, and it should not be a hindrance to continue promoting or showcasing the tattoo industry in Malaysia, which means that it should not be any reason for us to like stop hosting any more tattoo shows and stuff in the future, because I think it's good to promote the scene, you know, and I guess we just have to be a little more careful in the future, and maybe a bit more sensible or sensitive. Yeah.
Okay.
Do you think that this issue would have been like as big as it was if it was like in Singapore or something like that? Or do you think it's just like because of our moral context here in Malaysia?
Possibly, yeah.
I think that's tricky too, because like, you know, like didn't a minister come out and say that tattoo culture is like not Malaysian culture, and then a lot of people got defensive over that, whereas you would never hear such a thing like being said overseas.
Yeah.
So,
But I think that whole thing about Malaysian culture is weird, because there are a lot of things that are not Malaysian culture, but people get into it as well. So I don't think that's a really strong basis of argument for what happened. You know?
as I said, like I feel like eventually I will get a tattoo, but I've done no research. Absolutely no research whatsoever. So, Julian, help me out. What should I look for when like
I think face tats, man, like straight up face tats, grip on the forehead.
Just put there Gwen.
cool?
Just put there damaged.
Damage.
She's
It's
a
true.
part-time DC fan right here.
Okay.
Oh, yeah.
She hated the Suicide Squad movie.
I liked it more than others, but yeah, what's the process like for me as someone who's never gotten a tattoo? Should I think of like the ideas? Should I look into tattoo artists? Like hygiene-wise, like in studios, what should I look out for? Yeah, take me through it.
Yeah, because we're both like really new to this. We're both non-tattoo people, so our knowledge is very much skin deep.
Yeah. Well, we're only barely touching the surface now.
So let's just get to the point.
love
You're
this.
sharp. You're sharp. And colorful.
Thank you. I had an inkling feeling to wear this morning.
You thought about this, huh?
Yeah. That was most of my,
You woke up this morning thinking a lot about this, huh?
that was most of my nights. I
Okay.
painted a picture in my head.
Okay.
I'm still
So
be
I
here.
think all of the above is true.
Yep.
I think first and foremost you have to want to get a tattoo
Yeah.
in the beginning. There are people who feel that, okay, yeah, tattoos are cool, do I want it? Yeah, maybe. So I think you're 50-50, you know,
Yeah.
because I mean it's obviously like a lifelong commitment, you know. So think hard about it, and if you want to get a tattoo, then one foot is in. And then the next step is then to go, if you really don't know who you want to get tattooed from, or if you don't already know what style you like, then you should go and do some research about it. I think it's safe to say that you would at least have one friend who's tattooed, and then you could ask about experiences from the person and see. But definitely do your research. It's so easy to look for like the
Instagram accounts.
yeah, like styles or tattooers on Instagram, and there's plenty to choose from, especially in KL or Malaysia.
But think about the research, right? Are you researching what type of tattoo you want, or are you researching like specific tattoo artists that you're looking for?
I think just like music, sometimes you didn't know the genre that you want to listen to. Then you're just looking for artists within the genre. And then sometimes you're just looking for music in general and just trying to see what you feel, what you can vibe with, you know. So it's similar with tattoos. What you shouldn't do is go onto Google and type cool tattoos or
image search,
shit like
Pinterest.
Because we've seen like tons of people coming in and just showing us a Google picture, and we know it's from Google. And I think the thing is, a lot of people feel they need to put a meaning to the tattoo, and that's not wrong. But I think some people try to put too much meaning to a tattoo, and for example, they bring in a Google photo that has got sometimes nothing to do with the meaning, but then they try to put a meaning, and it's okay because you attach your own personal meanings to different things. But we can see that, so we know, like, so clients like that who come in, we actually do like a full consult and ask, like, from the beginning, okay, forget all this, like, what do you want to get? And then we talk them through the steps, you know, ideation, and then only we talk about execution and stuff. So if you're able to already start thinking like that, then you're one step further, you know, you're much yeah.
I like how you said consult. Like this was like a medical procedure.
Well,
they are like piercing your skin.
I mean,
Pricky.
yeah, it is sort of like a consult.
Yeah. So it's more of like a psychological consult, or is it like?
It's more like a motivational, bring up your damage past kind of consult.
As someone who's about to go in to get a tattoo, do you need some kind of like medical, like not so like say
consult?
No, it's not that. So if Gwen wants to go in, does she need to show like an STD test or something like that? Because you're working like
for sure. Like we want to see your whole blood marker report, you know, we would like to see your insurance coverage as well.
Oh, really?
Yeah, birth certificate, family lineage, yeah.
Are you messing with me, or is this
Yeah.
Yeah,
what the hell?
no, you don't have to. However, we have a disclaimer form that we require you to fill up to state if you have certain diseases, or for example, even if you're pregnant now or things like that, because you can't get tattooed while you're pregnant. That's pretty dangerous.
Is it because of metal poisoning or something like that?
You just don't want to take the risk, you know. I mean, it's a life in there.
But
two lives.
But amongst all that, there is a disclaimer form. So if you have any of these concerns, then it's best you highlight it to us, and then we'll decide if it's okay or whether we would like to take the risk in tattooing you.
Like for me, right, I'm really particular because I'm kind of like OCD about like hygiene.
Yep.
So I'm like, what needs to be like, what's the proper setup? Because if I go in, I'm not going to know like, you know, what's like clean or sanitary. So what do you think?
That's a really good point, and I think it's a point that most of the general public or our clients tend to overlook. Yeah. And it's not because I think it's just sometimes they don't know what they don't know. But it's a good point. So first, I think go to a reputable studio, because most of the reputable studios would have already had a more proper standard of hygiene.
Yeah.
I think sometimes you also use your feelings. You know, you step into the shop and you'll know. You know,
it's very Star Wars. Just go use your feelings.
Use your intuition. Yeah.
Okay.
So you step into the shop, like
you kind of know, and you kind of have a feel, and actually it is your right to actually question the tattooers about how they run their hygiene. So, for example, because you're going to get tattooed, and sometimes it's your right to know. So you could ask, hey, what are your hygiene guidelines here? Like, do you guys use one-time use needles? Do you have an autoclave? Do you wrap your station up? You know, blah blah blah. Okay. So, and if you feel like taking a walk through to the working area, you actually have the right to. And I think tattooers should not be insulted if that's the case. Yeah.
Because that's what, like, how I would feel. I'd be like, I'm scared to ask you in case I like insult you.
Yeah, for sure. I think sometimes as Asians we are a bit paiseh and stuff like that. But no, it is, you're right, because if you get tattooed in like all you need is one prick, and it's double-edged sword there. Yeah.
So
it is your right, guys. Don't forget to ask.
So I know that because it's not such a mainstream thing. There's no like proper regulation. There's no like governing body. But is there like a website or a Facebook page that people can go to check out? Okay, like is there like a list of like tattoo shops or whatever that people would think, oh, this is actually a good tattoo shop versus not a good tattoo shop?
No,
is there such a thing?
I don't think there's such a directory, because I think when you say a good tattoo shop or not, it's so subjective, right? Like we all do different styles. So like maybe a certain artist is good in this style. That doesn't make this other artist who's not good in that style any lesser, so to speak. So, but in general, I think there are a few popular shops in KL, shops that's been around or ran by tattooers who's been around for a long time. So you know that they're the more legit ones, I guess. Yeah.
Okay, so Julian, what is your process and your approach to like designing a tattoo, like as an artist yourself? Like, can you walk us through?
Sure. So basically, a client comes in and then sits down for a consult with me. We talk about tattoo ideas, we talk about direction, we talk about subject matter. And so sometimes clients would already give me really cool ideas. Like they would say, okay, I want this to be doing that, and then like some background. And then I try to form a visual image in my head to see if it works. Yeah. Sometimes it does, and it's really cool, and I see something, I go like, okay, boom, this is really cool. And then what we can do is like, okay, we do this, do this, do this. And then I might also show certain references and say, yeah, maybe like that. Like, so if we really have like an idea and the subject matter down, then we can talk about execution. But if we don't have that, then we work on the idea first. And once the client is really comfortable with the idea and the client buys this whole thing, then we go about setting an appointment date. And for me, in the back end, I only draw really close to the appointment date. So, because if you come for a consult with me now, and let's say your appointment is in 2 weeks, then I have like 2 weeks to think about it every day. Because I look at references every day, I check out drawing references, tattoo references and stuff like that. Yeah. So I have this mental image and I have a library in my phone, so I something I can go back to. So I keep everything really fresh, what I want to do, blah blah blah, till the really last minute, and then I draw your piece. You come into the shop on your appointment day, I show you your drawing, I show you how it looks on your body, because when you look at a drawing of paper, sometimes you don't get the full context.
And it's like flat.
Yeah. So I show it to you on your body, and okay, so this is how it's gonna look like, blah blah blah. And if you want to make small simple changes, that's fine. We can make the changes then, and then you go about and get your tattoo.
Do you like draw it on the skin first?
That's basically
like a sticker.
No, so we put a stencil. So we have like a stencil of the tattoo design that we transfer onto the skin, and then you would. So it's basically all the outlines, and then you would get to see how it flows on your body and how it looks like on your body. Yeah.
Have you ever had someone like completely not like the design at all?
Yeah.
How do you fix it?
Yeah,
Just
how like revisions like?
I think this would result of two things. Either during a consult I misunderstood the client completely, or the client sort of had a change of mind in terms of what they want. And it's okay. It could be frustrating because we've set up an appointment today and we've already spent time drawing it and doing all that. But at the end of the day, the client is going to wear it for life. So you gotta just accommodate.
Yeah. As a tattoo artist, do you ever like consult someone and be like, you have to reject him?
No, that's terrible.
Like, I'm sorry, I can't do that.
For sure.
Or I can't do you.
I mean, if a client comes in and asks for like super sensitive political symbols or stuff like that, I'm not going to do that. I don't do football club logos. And there are a couple of things I don't do. Like for example, I've got like 3 things that I absolutely can't do. I can't do lions.
Lions? Why? Singapore?
No. I think it's just, I don't know. It's like my kryptonite. Okay, so lions, like dragons, like Japanese dragons, and phoenix.
Phoenix?
Yeah,
wow.
like the big mythical bird. Yeah.
Rise from the ashes.
So those are the things I really cannot do. So if someone comes in and wants to get that done, I'll go like, I'm sorry man, I can't do it. Or if a client comes in and asks me to do something I'm not comfortable with style-wise. For example, if it's not something I do, I do like a sketch style, traditional style, but if someone comes in for Japanese, I'm not going to do that. If someone comes in for realistic portrait, I'm not going to do that because it's not something I understand how to do. And then I'm not the best tattooer for you. So I'd rather recommend someone who is a lot better at that and you go to the person, Yeah.
It's the end. We've come to the conclusion of our show.
Oh, okay.
Sorry, Julian.
I'm going to kick you out now.
Oh, no.
No, don't do that. Okay. Gwen's ready.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, okay, yep.
Okay, but all jokes aside, I think like tattoos, it's not mainstream yet. I feel like it's not mainstream yet.
It is.
Do you think it's gonna get mainstream soon?
I think it is. It is already sort of mainstream for sure. It's just not as mainstream as
like a different country. Yeah.
Okay. Well, if you want to know more, Julian, where can they check you out? Like on Instagram or whatever?
We're on Instagram at Wayankulit Tattoo, and on Facebook as well. Or you can drop us an email at wayankulittattoo@gmail.com.
Yeah.
Or you can drop by to SS15.
Yes, or you can come to the 47500 and check us out.
Yeah. Okay, guys. So that's all. Hope you guys enjoyed this. If you're thinking about your first tattoo, just give them a check out, and then we'll see you.
Next year.
Next decade, if you think about it.
Oh my gosh! We should get 2019 tattoo.
Mencapai wawasan.
3090 dash and then keep it empty. Okay guys, I guess that's it. And bye.
Bye-bye.